guys and welcome to Dubai. I know that this video, in the title you see Sweden. So you're like, why are we in Dubai? Because I vlogged back this spring. I vlogged my competition week in Sweden and I never published it. I never published it for a reason. In this video, that is the moment you can witness I was in trouble mentally. It was a difficult place, the one that I was finding myself, because for the first time I needed to admit I was lacking preparation, temperament in my mind. I wasn't ready as I thought to carry on with the competition season. So apart from the fact that I'm joking today about it and I'm happy to reveal you this backstage to show you that there is a weak part in each athlete that sometimes come out. And I want to explain better what was happening. I was coming from the UK. In the UK, I had a second place. It was a European level competition, and I was very pumped of the good results that I had until that moment. As a first timer, it's not so common to finish up to the podium and onto the podium during your first season. So everything was magic until that point. And there is a say in sports that is always go out when you are at your best. So probably I should have accepted that second place was my best at the moment and just, have left the competition season, which I didn't because everything was planned and booked to go over and carry on and go to Sweden. Now, one piece of advice for athletes, professional athletes, don't book everything in advance. You never know what can happen from the day that you planned to the day that actually happened. And so this was a very unwise decision, the one to book everything in advance. And now I know it, I learned from experience. And in that moment, when I landed in Sweden and I saw my body and I was for the first time so swollen, not like now. Now I have a bit more fat than back then. I was literally seeing that I had, a bit of swelling, and the criteria for a competition are very strict. So we're not even talking about a bit of bloated stomach. Bloated stomach means you can't compete that day. So we're talking very professional and strict criteria. When I landed, I was sighing and I started panicking a bit because my body wasn't responding anymore how we thought with my coach back at the time. I needed a way to feel less drama and to, just wait and let the time pass and see in the following days what was the real outcome of all this traveling and changing temperatures, degrees, weather, wind, anything. I learned also that it's not good to go from 30 degrees to 0 degrees to minus 10 degrees in a single competition season. But these are all little pills of experience. Anyway, back to Sweden. We land and it's snowy. I live in Dubai. It was like 3 years that I didn't see any snow. And that is one of the reasons that my body was reacting so abruptly. And then we arrive at the hotel, and in the video you will see how I was trying to cheer up myself, even though around me the situation was a disaster. The place was not up to standard. The kitchen, did they say, is amazing. It was looking like a common kitchen of a student accommodation. The corridor, the hotel itself, it was like a prison. And we were coming from very, airy rooms and full of light to a place that were tight corridor, slamming doors, like the one of the prison, and silence. Nobody around, just narrow, tight, and long areas and places. It was bad. Believe me, it was bad. And then outside it was snowing. I was uncomfortable. And in the video you will notice that, because if you saw my previous vlogs, you know how to distinguish when I'm really happy and when I'm not. And this is the reason I didn't publish it before. But it's revelation time. Another thing I remember very well is the fact that there were no supermarkets open. Everything closes at 5 p.m. There were no gyms open because the one close to the hotel was not adequate to be reached, we can say, because there were too much snow. The others were far away. My internet was very bad because I was kind of in the mountains, and all this only for looking for a place with a kitchen. So I was kind of stupid in planning that, yes. And so I looked around me. There was no food, no gyms. I had a cardio routine to carry out that day. I was kind of depressed, and I let you see what I mean in this first part of our video. We have arrived in Sweden, just checked in the hotel. The rooms are smaller. It's kind of a different concept, and the kitchen, which is my main thing, is absolutely good. So this is the main entrance. The light is not broken, it's just an effect of the video. This is me with 1,000 layers. Here we have I didn't switch on the light yet. We have the little toilet, and it's all kind of layered, because if you notice, here there will be my mom. This is my bag. Hi, mommy. Hey. This is the sofa in front of the TV. And this is the bed. So the concept of the bed is crazy. Like, it's on a lofty space. And the thing I want to show you the most is outside. This is the weather we'll be living in for these days. That's my car. I'm finishing to set up. I went for all food shopping. It was a bit tough because I couldn't understand anything on the labels. Finally, we get in there, and I went for my cardio. And I'm satisfied because I was scared that it didn't fit in this busy day. So now it's time to go to bed to get ready to start a full routine tomorrow, back in the normal schedule after this busy day traveling. Honestly, it's a bit disruptive to have many hours taken by the fact that you are on the way, on the go. But yeah, you need kind of to have a strong mind to go back immediately to your routine and not to slack on those days. It's not easy, 100%, but I'm making it for now, so good night. Today we are our Nordic Wellness in Järfälla, which is this place in the outskirts of Stockholm. The competition is going to be on Easter Sunday 17 in Södertälje. I think that this is the way that they pronounce the places. I worked a lot toward posing and toward food composition for what I'm planning to do for this big week. Next one is already booked, but we don't talk about it as of yet. And today is 7 days out, beginning of official peak week, and we are here only for a bit of cardio that has been left behind, but I'm not for punishing yourself. So today I'll try to literally move more, but I don't have the lifting because it's in any case is rest day. So I will have the cardio that is on my plan, plus I will try to move a bit more. And now I'm just about to warm up on my friends the stairs, which has been kind of a long time I'm not doing them because they're not available everywhere. I'm trying to book accommodations. They have the kitchen, that is a priority 100%, and the fitness room at least, and normally there is a treadmill. So I'm happy to warm up on this today. Let's do it, and then straight into the sauna. Talking about the degrees and temperature, I have to be honest, I'm suffering them a bit. Like in the UK, there are more or less 10 degrees average in this period of the year, which is good for me. Here we are around 0. Today is sunny, as you can see outside through the windows. And there you saw Donna that was trying to make the most of the amazing environment she was in. That was one thing out of control, but I still had things I could control. I had my attitude, I had the ownership of the fact that I was doing something I wanted to do and not something that someone else has chosen for me. So I just decided that I would have carried my purpose till the end. After a few days, a ray of sun came out. And that meant that the gym in the little place in the countryside that was next to my accommodation opened. So you will see that finally I am filming from the Stairmaster machine, which it's one of the machines that I hate the most, but in that moment it gave me a sense of freedom that I have never experienced probably before, because for 3 days I was forced to do everything in the room. So yeah, I really enjoyed to go back to a weightlifting proper place in kind of a small town, but that was good enough. And after the first training I felt re-energized, and I went straight to check-in to the venue, and what I found was amazing. What they were saying was true. The production of the show went the extra mile. And I say in the video that I had not enough comparison because I'm not an experienced competitor. I saw a couple of backstages, but that was the best amongst those. There were proper weights, there were proper cables, there were proper bands, there were a proper makeup and hair corner where there were professionals there available for you all day. Big shout out to Jenny, my friend. She's now also a TV star and we both come from South America. I really loved working with her and with Ryan, that is her partner. By the way, you will see that I go to check-in and around me everything is big, everything is American style. The backdrops, the panelists that were there for checking us, the venue, the sponsorships, everything, Backstage included, believe me, was of another planet. That afternoon I realized how much interest and investment there is around the bodybuilding world in other countries, and I think that I decided in that moment that that would be the sport that I would have persisted in also after that trial season. Because I want to go there now. I want to be there again. I want to be in those huge, massive, full of light, energetic events again. And this is the reason I'm going through an improvement season. I'll be back next year, and for that you will need to stay tuned. But now, day before the competition, we've been called to the first coat of tanning. That for who is out of the bodybuilding competition environment, what happens is that the day before you're gonna have a first layer of tanning because your skin needs to get used to the substance, literally, and to absorb it, and then you'll have a retouch on the day of the competition. When I walked into the venue for the second time, nervousness came back, but there are some funny moments in which I try, to be easygoing and light-minded, and it's fun. Just let's go have a look at them. Hi guys, we're finally here at MPC Sweden weekend, and I want to show you this backstage because it's crazy, it's incredible. Like, I did only 3 shows in my life, I know I have no comparison yet, but this is the best that I've seen. Wow. Full set of weights, full set of everything you need, rice cakes, Nutella, like just wow. And there are mirrors here. This is gonna be the place for the makeup. There are mirrors there and the tanning corner. Too crazy and too good to be true. Just wow. I had my own. Ha ha ha. Sorridi. Donna. Stiamo andando al tanning. Hai visto? Ma dal video non sembrerebbe. Dal viso non si può. Here we get to the big day, competition day. I was a bit unlucky because they put us in order for hair and makeup by height, and being a Smurf, I was the first one. So I was called to be there at 5 a.m. and the next chunk of videos will start from there. When we leave the accommodation, it's still dark. I was lucky enough to have part of my family with me. My mom was with me for the whole week, and my sister came to see the competition because it was also Easter weekend. So what a crazy family can do on Easter weekend? Well, nothing better than go to a bodybuilding show, because I was doing it. We leave the accommodation, pitch dark, we go to the venue, and there is the moment, the best moment I think in all this vlog, is when you see me sleeping while Jenny does my makeup. Like, you will see my head doing oh. And you can't understand if I'm awake or not. Well, I was not. They made me so beautiful, they made me ready. I was able to abruptly break a bikini between the first round of individual routines and the finals, which is crazy unlucky. But yes, I did also that. And backstage I had crazy good moments. I met so many good athletes. I had moments of kind of confession with fellow competitors. They were more experienced than me, and this is what I love about competing, the people that stay with you and never leave you. And I'm still friends with many of them. Some of them live in Dubai, and I met them back home. It's absolutely amazing. We are all ready. I am rehearsing backstage, and we go out there to be compared and judged, which is one of the scariest things you can imagine, but this is actually the sport I chose. So it was my turn to go and own it.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling.
The bikini for finals.
The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all in my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother, I barely could trust it. I talked to a shorty, she bagging the bugging. And I'ma need all of my dollars on corporate, so hand me the money, I divvy the pie. I'ma give all of my people a portion to build them a fortune. I'm flipping the ride. I can't be mixy when iffy the vibe. And 40 on 50 is really the time. Why is you all on my phone like you want me? Like you wasn't pushing the kid to the side. I don't know if you thinking I'm blind. Cross on my crosses and dot on my eyes. Done with your efforts, I'm dealing with pressures. I know it's a lesson, that's word of the wise. Dubbing the mixes I'm mixing, I know I've been missing. I needed some personal time. Full of pictures, dimensions, I don't with your digits. I mean it, I'm staying inside. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something.
Easter, everyone, let's move on to the big ceremony.
Very big, in a big apartment with a big
view.
Canal, yeah, big panorama, big view.
Unfortunately, guys, as you understood, in that show I didn't place. But the good takeaway is I didn't feel it as a moment of defeat. I learned, because you never lose. You either win or learn. And I learned that my mind wasn't there. And I learned how to take it back next time, because then I worked on what was my error, my big error in that moment. That was to disconnect after the first round. When my mind wasn't there anymore, second round, bikini broken, and all the hiccups that can happen. And you should be prepared to handle in any sport. So there is no excuse here. It was my own fault with all the hiccups I was saying. I couldn't deal, unfortunately. In that moment, I wasn't able to deal with those. Rather than, literally in life normally I am. So I felt so weird, and it wasn't a peaceful moment, it was a moment of internal war. I just needed to admit myself that I wasn't behaving up to standard. And this is hard. It's really hard to admit that you are falling short of something you thought you were able to do. My last resource was to keep learning and enjoying those moments and have them firm in my mind, as they are now, after months, because next time I won't allow the same to happen. I was lucky enough instead to be in such a big show that I had a head judge from the US. There is Gary Udit. Thank you so much for everything you taught me in a short few sentences. You really transmitted me the soul of this sport, and I will never forget those few sentences. They are really still deep in my heart. Potential is there, the best is yet to come. Thank you, Gary. Apart from that, I really decided that I wanted to enjoy the extra mile that I went to go from 80 kilos to competing on a stage that were full of people shooting to go professional. That was kind of a big achievement. Okay, Donna, you disconnected your mind for the second round, and who cares? You are a damn first timer. Can you just forgive yourself and decide that you are enough? This is the exact reason for which we stayed for that magic Easter in Stockholm, and we enjoyed the Grand Hotel, and we decided that was the way to pay us back. I say us because my husband and my family always stayed watching my back and watching everything that was happening, for supporting me and find out ways to help me. You will see in the videos, or you maybe just saw my sister with the milk in her hands waiting for me to come out. Like these little things, guys, just fill your heart with a lot of joy. That's in that moment, it's something very big. It's something you need. The support is your all word in that moment. Above all, when you are not on point in your mind. But we learn, and learning, I implemented this little thing also in my video course. Feel the way with rewards. What means? Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate the fact that you made it to go there. Celebrate the fact that you did 3 competitions. Celebrate the fact that you transformed so hardly. That is something that not many are able to do. Celebrate everything you were good at and switch the focus from anything you couldn't make 100%, because next time you'll be able to make it. If you really want to build your mindset to the standard of mine today, and not back when I was competing this spring, today, of the athlete that go and give it all. Go and check out the video course, go and check out Transform Action. We go through a journey together in our mind, and you will end that journey being another person, having a completely different lifestyle that is not a way to carry, but a natural behavior that comes, and you will build out of habits the new best version of yourself. It works, it changes life. Go now.